Welcome to the Shock 'em Dead podcast, episode 16. Happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.
I can't see anything.
Or I guess we should say happy Halloween.
Yes.
Silver Shamrock.
And go buy our band's merchandise.
Obey. Consume. Our album actually did come out embarrassingly 4 years ago on this day.
Yep.
And I say embarrassingly because I wish we could put out more stuff. But we will at some point. But you know what? This Halloween special is going to be us talking about one of our favorite bands, if I'm not mistaken. It's one of yours, one of mine. Acid Witch, their new album, Brought Among Us. As you can see, my sister got me that poster for my birthday. Pretty awesome. And we have the cassette here, and we both listened to it many times. You go with that, or you wanting to take that off so you could not sound like an old man that someone's trying to suffocate with a trash bag?
Yeah. The only way I can see is if I pull the eyes down because my eyes are exactly where the eyes are.
Well, all right. You want to... Ah, hideous real face.
Yeah, my hair is everywhere.
It looks like it's stuck in your shirt. It got sucked in there. All right. There's cat hair on Count Chocula. Who did this? The cat.
Oh.
You better?
Yes, I'm
okay.
better.
All right. Enough with the weird banter here.
I can breathe.
I can fight.
Yes, as she was saying, we're going to be talking about Acid Witch's Rot Among Us, which we have here on tape cassette.
I'm going to go ahead and say that is my favorite Acid Witch album.
Yeah.
Stoned was my favorite, although I did like Witch Tannic Hallucinations and...
Evil Sound Screamers.
Yeah, Evil Sound Screamers is probably my second favorite, and then Stoned, and then, Witch Tannic Hallucinations. But is this the fourth offering, full length?
And Hell's Headbangers didn't do a cassette for Evil Sound Screamers for whatever reason.
I wonder why, because we also have this 7-inch.
We've got a few Acid Witch 7 inches. They're just...
Okay, we really like Acid Witch. We've seen them a few times. We played a festival with them.
And we've got some of their albums on vinyl over there, too.
Yeah, and we caught a pumpkin, like one of those...
Candy corn pumpkins?
Yeah, when we saw them at Maryland Death Fest, but it died.
It melted away.
Which is weird, because I didn't think it would do that, but it did.
I thought it would just dry out.
Rot. And turn to bugs. Okay, so this was released September?
Beginning of October.
Okay, of course, because it's Acid Witch. They've got a new logo.
Yes. Which
is really awesome. And, of course, Shagrat did the album art, which is just awesome. I love that the eye is like the sun there.
Mm-hmm.
And you said most of this was written by Shagrat, right?
Yeah, he wrote everything except for Tommy Rodgers, which him and Slasher Dave both wrote together.
Slasher Dave do the music, though?
Yeah, they both did the music. And just on lyrics and stuff.
It's got a really cool insert. J card. Well, it's like a really long J card. There aren't many bands that I feel like tell a story so well that you listen to the lyrics as if you're listening to an audiobook. Because I feel like that's what this album was, especially with well, you want to go song by song or just our favorite ones?
Yeah, we can go song by song if you want.
Okay, well, my favorite song on the whole album is the first song, which is Gather Each Witch. It's great. It's it's just gather each witch. Just keep saying it, but I love the build up in the beginning and the riff and the ow, my hand hurts. Don't know what I did to it, but what he does on the keyboard is really great. And
well, there's more lyrics besides just gather each witch.
oh well, it's the witch talking in the beginning. Awaken, arise, appear. All that good stuff.
Come to me, thy witch blood cult. Yeah, I'll let.
Yeah, you could listen to it. But that song, 10 out of 10 for me. It's great. And then I love how it goes right into the next song, which is
Rot Among Us.
Rot Among Us.
Title track.
It gets right into it. It's not the last track, it's the second one. Get you up, bop the mic.
Yep. On our album, the title track was the second song.
Really?
They ripped us off.
Yeah.
We played a festival with them in 2019, but they didn't watch us because they were there a different day.
What? I don't remember. I was exhausted.
Yeah, Blood of the Wolf.
Yes, it was good. It was a good festival. I enjoyed it, except the beer. We're not going into that though. We're talking about Acid Witch.
Yes.
But they always put on a great show. It's not like just a band. It's a whole thing. It's like almost a theatrical thing. You know they love Halloween. You know they love B horror movies and just horror in general, and you can tell they actually have something to say. It's just not they picked up instruments and they wanted to play. It's that they have a passion for this stuff. Like, okay, so Rot Among Us, is that about anything in particular? Because I know 5508 Martin Street.
Well, we're getting there, but yeah, like Rot Among Us. I don't think it's based on anything.
But that's another great thing about the band, though, is that they write about urban legends and, crime that has happened in Detroit, because they're from Detroit.
And they got to finally use their little slogan, because they have, since they started, they've said the Doom on Dropout thing. Mm-hmm. But then Rot Among Us, they put Doom on tune. Was it Doom on, tune in, drop out?
I think it's Doom. I'm just not going to.
Tune off.
That's a.
Doom on, tune off, drop out. There we go. That's
okay,
right.
All right.
Rot Among Us. Doom on, tune off, drop out. You should live your life for you before our time runs out. I like that Shagrat sings a lot more on this album than usual.
Do they take turns? I don't know if I noticed.
Yeah.
Huh. I should have. I usually when we're going to review an album or anytime I've reviewed an album, like when I used to do it in Thrash Dance, I would have to listen to it a bunch, and sometimes it would be a little bit of a chore. This was not. I wanted to listen to it every day. Mm-hmm. Possibly twice. Every song on that album is great, and the next song is
The Sleeper, about the baby that gets left in a drawer.
Is that real, though?
No, not that I could find.
Because I was thinking about that yesterday, because you told me about that a few days ago, and I was thinking, I'm sure it happened because people are just absolutely mind-numbingly stupid, but
Yeah, but the baby got left in a drawer, and the parents were going to church and got killed in a car accident, and the baby got left in a drawer and died and rotted away. And
how would people not hear it crying?
Nobody was in the house.
I mean...
And then someone comes in the house and finds the baby in the drawer, and then...
Man, that would fuck up your life.
And then you scream with the sleeper.
Well, I was thinking, though, if that's true, it shows their priorities. Let's put the baby in their drawer so we could go to church.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to bring a baby to church.
A lot of people did. As if I didn't dislike church enough. For people that didn't know, I did have to go to church when I was growing up. Didn't like it. Not religious.
Psychedelic swampnosis.
Psychedelic swampnosis.
Yep, or Deathic Swamp Nose.
I thought it was something weird because at first when I was looking at it, I was half asleep and I was like, eh.
Well, I'm kind of blinded by the lights right now. It's like probably this or the last song are like my least favorite.
Yeah, I mean it's got some lulls, but I would not say I dislike any song on this album.
Yeah, they're not bad songs. They're just not. They're my least favorite.
Yeah, but Gather Each Witch, it's great. I love it.
Then Devil's Night Doom, which is about Devil's Night in Detroit when.
Yeah, that starts with the clip about the fires and everything. I wonder. I don't know why in the world Slasher Dave or anybody else will be listening to this, but like, do you just think of the clips off the top of your head? Do you remember them? Do you have to look for them? How do you find them? I wonder that every time I hear like a clip. I could see how they would remember it from movies and stuff, especially if they're writing it about a movie, but like, do you remember a certain newscast that happened?
Yeah, like in the last album, Evil Sound Screamers, how they were talking about name whatever the
vigilante, the ghost vigilante of Detroit. Yeah, but I just wonder if that stuck out to you when you heard it, or if you had to search for it and knew of the news article, which I'm sure they probably would have heard the news.
Yeah, just
like
and I'm sure they knew about all the house burnings and
yeah, it'd be kind of hard to miss.
The arson spree, Devil's Night.
Man, it's a rough place to live. Get some good music out of it, though, I guess.
Well, usually they burn like the abandoned houses, but they do.
But why?
I don't know. But people do burn houses that people are living in, which is terrible.
Yeah.
And then up next is the first song that they released, 5508 Martin Street.
That was the first song. Well, obviously, because it was the first song that was released. The first song I heard, and I was just listening the whole time because I was trying to hear what was going on because they told it like it was a story, which, I mean, it is. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy that, is supposedly true.
Yeah.
Which I don't doubt that stuff because I've had some fucked up nightmares. I mean...
Well, let's say what it's about.
Okay, you go ahead.
It's about... there's a house at 5508 Martin Street, and a family was living there, and I think it's supposed to be in the 60s, and the dad worked night shift at the Cadillac plant and used the back room to sleep because it was away from everybody, and he started having terrible nightmares about a hag, like screaming in his face.
I thought it was also like he opened up the closet door and his decapitated daughter's head fell out and her body was lying in there, and just it was innards and weird shit that you don't want to see.
Dreams about that too, and and they thought he was just having issues, but then he slept in the actual bedroom upstairs and it went away. And so they got some of their relatives to come and sleep in that room.
Who does that?
And then they started, seeing the visions and stuff.
You're essentially using your relatives as guinea pigs. Maybe it was ones they didn't like.
It was like
it's like annoying aunt.
The mother-in-law.
Like, mother-in-law.
And like a cousin or something like that.
I like my mother-in-law. I didn't say it like, I just meant like, usually... in like sitcoms and movies and stuff, it's like, oh, my mother-in-law is coming over. Let's put her in the nightmare room. It works. Like it's a Doc Brown experiment or something.
Up next, The Evil Dad, Dad by Dawn, which is about...
That title makes you laugh.
It's about... What's his name?
The man who killed Oliver. Yeah. I like how that one starts, about the urban legends, although I do not like that they end their sentence in a preposition. But, I mean, they did that for flow, and so it rhymes.
Ronald Clark O'Brien.
That's fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
How do you kill your 8-year-old son?
Yeah.
Well, you go ahead and say... I love that each of these songs are about something. It's not just like... I mean, I'm all for, like how Scream Bloody Gore? Scream Bloody Gore was about like nothing but mutilation and sacrifice. That's awesome. that's fine too. But like the fact that each song is about something is just so great. They put so much thought into it.
Yes, was a Ronald Clark O'Brien guy killed his 8-year-old son by putting cyanide in his candy.
Where do you get cyanide?
You used to could buy it.
Why?
Because I think that was in the early 70s. Like,
what would you use that for clinically? Death? I think in very small doses it was used for something. Let's see. I'm gonna look it up because I'm very curious if there's no way cyanide would have been used for.
Oh, maybe something farm related. It was Texas. Texas.
I spelled clinically wrong, but I was in a hurry. Facts about cyanide. Yeah.
Cyanide. I've already died. Just a whatever. Metallica.
No. Cyanide is a naturally occurring chemical found in many plants that has been used in conventional warfare and poisoning for 2 millennia. So no.
Yeah.
Why? Who's got a prescription for cyanide?
Well, it could have been. They used to put cyanide in like rat poison.
What is with the warfare on rats? It's like, god damn.
Kill them all.
I mean, I don't like rats. I'm not like, well, just lead them outside. But yeah, my God, it's like, make some mustard gas. Get these bastards out of here.
The next song is Tommy Rotter. It's the one that Slasher Dave did co-write the lyrics to. It's about Tommy knockers. Yeah.
Isn't it about how the movie's bad?
Well, the first part of it's about actual Tommy knockers, and then the second part's about...
That movie was not good. I remember watching that, like...
Two-part miniseries with Tracy Lords.
I don't even remember Tracy Lords being in that.
Yeah, she's in it.
I mean, I'm sure she is, but it's been so long. Because I remember there was like a glowing green beam in the middle of town, and it looked like, right, that it could have been good. Pardon. But it wasn't. Because it was like a town hypnotized by the fallen meteor. What is
Stephen King?
Yeah, but I was thinking of the H.P. Lovecraft story about the sound of color or something.
The color out of space?
Yes, the sound of color. I'm fucking stupid. All right. But it kind of reminds me of that kind of thing. But all right.
Then up next is my favorite song on the album, Chelsea Didn't Come Home Last Night, which is about an actual murder case from Detroit, or outside of Detroit in Michigan, of a girl named Chelsea Brooke.
I think it's Brooke.
Yeah.
Because I remember thinking, like, it's an odd last name.
It's spelled Brooke, but like everybody in the videos I was watching about it kept saying Brooke. I don't know.
I'd be pissed off if I was dead and people were mispronouncing my last name, is all I'm saying.
She went to a Halloween party and never came home. I
thought that the actual case would be more sinister than it was, being that, they made a song about it. Not that I'm, like, looking for, grotesque murder shit, but I figured if they wrote a song about it, it would be kind of grim. But I was thinking, like, did they know that guy that put on the party? Because it looked like he had some metal band, like they were dressed up to like the Ninja Turtles or something, playing music.
Yeah, it was a metal festival at his family's farm.
Yeah, were they there?
No.
Oh.
It looked like a bunch of like metalcore bands when I looked up the flyer.
Okay, sorry guys, didn't know. Like they're fucking listening. I don't know, but they said Metal Mike in the song, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what he went by though. So that's probably just just calling him.
I mean, it's the Detroit land area, so maybe they knew him. Who knows?
Yeah.
But that's what I was wondering, and it's got to be weird to keep seeing that on the news when it's so close to, where you are. And then they find her, like the lady that called up that found her body.
It was a man.
I thought it was a lady because she was like, "I'm freaking out right now."
It was a man.
Oh, okay.
It says the fisherman that found her by the tracks in the song. It was a guy
I thought the lady said, "I found a dead body on my property," and they were like,
"It was a guy freaking out." It showed the guy.
Huh. I don't know. Okay, somebody found her body. That's just got to be a terrible day. All right.
First, they found her dress, and one of her shoes, and then like her skull, or it was one of her bones, and then then they ended up finding the person found the rest of her.
Oh, I thought it was just her dress and then her shoe, because the dress was torn off in this little abandoned building that was on the way to wherever that fucked up dude dumped her body, because he raped her. Said that he had sex with her. He raped her, and obviously he did, because. And then there was some guy that said, like, he helped her into a car even though he had nothing to do with it, and he just was lying.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Like, as soon as you get in the police station, wouldn't you be like, wow, I'm a jackass, I'm gonna leave right now. So that was about.
And then the last song, this one is my least favorite. It's Gundella the Green Witch, and I keep thinking it's the witch from Banjo-Kazooie, Gruntilda.
Oh. yeah. The one that's just like.
But I mean, it like I said earlier, it's not a bad song. It's still an amazing song, better than anything I can come up with. but it's just my least favorite. And I've been wondering what that clip at the beginning is.
Which I kind of forget. I mean, I've listened to it a bunch of times, but
it's the one like the I'm overweight.
Yeah. That's a little bit intrusive on my ears. I mean, because it's like, look at me. I was like, oh God, okay, I will. Yeah. That's. I mean, it's still a good song. I enjoy it, but I do agree.
I do like the little everything you do comes threefold back to you that they like kind of say at the end.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Everything you do comes threefold back to you.
Everything is great. I mean, there are some songs that I like more than others, but overall, I would give that album a 10 out of 10.
Yes. It is definitely my album of the year.
I just love the dedication and the passion that these guys have for Halloween, for the Halloween season, for the movies, for the theatrics of it, for the props, everything. And it's not like they're putting on anything. That's what they love. That's how they live. And it's awesome.
They need to write more songs about BMX bikes, so.
Oh, what? Because he was...
Slasher Dave rides his BMX bike around.
I like his handles that say Slasher Dave. You showed me that video of him riding around town because he saw 5508 Martin Street.
No, it was the house that he has on the cover of one of his latest solo albums.
Oh, okay, yeah. Check out Slasher Dave's solo albums, too, because that's just him. And it's like synth, dark, like Halloween stuff. It's cool.
And he just put one out like a week after this album came out.
Yeah, that guy, that must be all he does.
Well, you want to talk about Halloween 3, Season of the Witch?
Our favorite Halloween. Actually, no, I still think for me it's tied with the first Halloween, because I very much do like the first Halloween. Oh, Count Chocula. We have two different tapes.
And they're both from the 90s. 1996 and 1994.
Well, all right. What makes this stand out to you as a Halloween movie?
There ain't no Michael Myers. It says Happy Happy Halloween like 400,000 times to the tune of London Bridge is
Yeah, but I
Falling
love how everybody's getting annoyed by it in the movie. They're like, God damn commercial.
Happy Happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween.
And if that's not stuck in your head after you watch it,
Silver Shamrock.
I don't think your brain's working. Oh, wow. Just had a complete brain fart.
This one was directed by Tommy Lee Wallace, who directed Fright Night 2 and the It miniseries.
Fright Night 2 we also covered on another podcast, and I like that more than the first Fright Night, so I think he did an awesome job. Very good director.
He is a fellow Kentuckian. I'm pretty sure he's from Somerset.
Really?
Over where Jacob and them live.
Huh.
But he grew up in Bowling Green with John Carpenter.
That blows my mind that John Carpenter came from Bowling Green.
The place that we play shows and nobody comes to watch us.
Because it's hipsters. Who hates me now? Not the people who come to our shows. I'm not talking about you.
No, I'm sure. I mean, it's just produced by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, but I'm sure they were kind of...
Yeah, they were in on it because they were definitely in on the directing. Because like I said, I told you earlier, there's a scene in the movie where Tom Atkins' character, who's... I just call Tom Atkins, I feel like.
Dr. Chalice.
Yes, okay, Chalice, duh.
Dan Chalice.
Daniel Chalice, when he's got the Halloween mask on and he's trying to throw it on the camera. Obviously, if you have seen... Don't be chewing in the mic, please.
I'm not.
Okay. If you've seen this movie and listening to the podcast, you've seen this movie. When he's got the mask on and he's tied up at the Silver Shamrock facility, and he, manages to scoot forward and smash the TV, and then he unties himself with a knife, and then he takes off his mask and throws it at the camera. I was like, there's no way he did that in one take. It took over 40 takes. But John Carpenter said it took over 40 takes at the reunion in 2015 of the cast.
Yes, but what I was saying is I'm sure John Carpenter was kind of telling Tommy Lee Wallace what to do, because Tommy Lee Wallace wasn't supposed to direct this. They were supposed to have another guy, and he went on to do, was it a Twilight Zone?
Yeah, the movie.
And so they got Tommy Lee Wallace because he was going to be a producer, and they had another guy write it. I can't remember the guy's name.
Nigel Knale. Neil, I don't know.
Yeah, he wrote the most of the story, but the the people that give him the checks to make the movie said they wanted more gore, and that guy didn't want to mess up his script, so he just backed out, and Tommy Lee Wallace had to rewrite things.
He had to gore it up.
Which really, there's not much gore.
No, there was a few times, and then
the bugs and the snakes and stuff coming out of the masks. That's about the goriest thing. And then the woman's face getting blown to pieces.
That makes me think of Joe Bob Briggs talking about Poltergeist. And he was like, they're proud that they don't have gore. He was like, who's proud of that? The scariest thing in that movie was the chairs on the table.
Yeah.
Would you like to, for people who have not seen this movie, would you like to read the synopsis of the movie? So this is the third installment in the Halloween series, and this was the first venture that John Carpenter had into making a Halloween story that was just supposed to be.
Oh, I was going to say earlier, Tommy Lee Wallace wanted to, he was talking to John Carpenter about doing a third Halloween. He said the only way that he would do that is if it wasn't a sequel to 2 and didn't have Michael Myers. So that's when they came up with this. But let's see. Gather round your TV set, put on your masks, and watch.
What did they even give away? I'm sorry.
I don't know. They didn't
Bugs.
say. Halloween is drawing near, and all across America, children are getting ready for what could be their last Halloween. When a crazed man wanders into Dr. Dan Chalice's hospital, clutching a Halloween mask and raving about people trying to kill him, Dan assumes the guy is nuts. But then the man is gruesomely murdered and turned into a mysterious ash. When the man's daughter, Ellie, with the man's daughter, Ellie, Dan decides to investigate the man's last days. The trail takes them to the spooky remote town of Santa Mira, home of Silver Shamrock Novelty Factory. But Silver Shamrock is anything but child's play. It is the home base of an ancient Celtic coven headed by a warlock with diabolical plan to murder 50 million children on the Devil's Night. So put on your mask and get ready for a few hours of pure terror. A few hours. Halloween is here
If
again.
you watch it a few times.
It's only 99 minutes. That's not a few hours.
Right when you said Santa Mira, every time I think of the Cauldron song off of In Ruin. We heard that live.
Yep. And they heard it in the intro.
Yeah. I was like, oh. I love that song. That's another great band. I love Cauldron.
At least they heard the intro in the intro. Because got to keep it under 30 seconds so I don't get sued by Jason Decay.
Jason's going to come here and knock you upside the head and be like, just stare at you. I don't know. Ian doesn't care.
No. Now, Michael Myers is in this movie. Dick Warlock, who played Michael Myers in 2.
He is the assassin.
He's the android assassin that looks like... I can't remember that guy's name.
I thought he looked like David Bowie's weird cousin.
There's an actor... I don't know. I can't remember what movie it's from, but there's a guy that looks like how he looks in this movie. Yeah, he's a very tiny man. It's
yeah,
weird.
I know.
It's weird that he was Michael Myers.
Cinematic magic.
Yeah.
It's like...
Cinemagic.
He looks like he'd work at a bank, and he would have a British accent for some reason. I don't know.
It's like, I'm 6'2", and I feel like I'm too short to be Michael Myers. I don't know. Actually, the guy that played Michael Myers in the first movie is 6'2", I think, or 6 foot.
I feel like 6'2" is imposing enough, especially because his what he preyed on most were teenagers, and most teenagers, you were 6'2" and you're a teenager, but I'm sure there weren't many other teenagers who were 6'2". So his prey was predominantly short.
And like Kane Hodder's not very tall. Like, he was Jason.
Is he 6'3", 6'4"?
No, he's like 6 foot. 'Cause I'm taller than him.
Huh.
If even that. I don't know.
Well,
we could have met him last weekend, but we didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we were doing stuff.
We'll meet him one of these days before he loses all of his muscles. Because the last picture I saw of him, he was looking pretty rough.
He's getting up there.
Yeah.
We're not talking about Jason Voorhees, though.
He could still kick my ass.
I know he could kick my ass. He's got that ghost hunting crew with Zach Bagans and the other guy that was like his stunt double.
Yeah.
Anybody know what I'm talking about?
Well, they were on... It wasn't with Zach Bagans. They were just on Ghost Adventure.
Yeah, I know. But that... But he does ghost investigations.
What was it? The Hollywood Ghost Hunters or something?
Something like that. Now, Dick Warlock, on the other hand, to my knowledge, does not have a ghost hunting project.
No.
But that was cool. Another cameo in this movie from the first one.
Jamie Lee Curtis. She was the operator when Dr. Chalice was trying to call out of
Santa Mira.
Yeah,
and it wasn't happening. No dice.
Yeah, that's Jamie Lee Curtis on the phone, and she also does the curfew announcement.
So, okay, the guy who went to the hospital put in an order, and he went to pick it up, and I guess he saw too much, and they knew it.
Mm-hmm.
And he has to bother the guy on a shift who's just trying to get through it. So he brings him to the hospital, and he's like, I'm just trying to help. I didn't do anything. Okay? Okay? And they're like, yeah, it's okay. Thank you. Thank you for doing that. And the Happy, Happy Halloween starts playing on the TV, and the guy's like,
they're gonna kill us all.
Yeah. And Dr. Chalice is like,
destroy us all.
I'll take the chicken. But Dr. Chalice is like, okay, goodbye. And they put him in a room, and how is this guy in the hospital getting all these women to just be like, hoo 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 hoo?
He's hitting on the nurse.
hitting on the other nurse, and the woman who's okay. All right, so while Dr. Chalice leaves the room, nurse leaves the room, android comes in.
Kilts him.
Yeah, he grabs the bridge of his nose, pops his eyes, grabs the bridge of his nose, pulls it forward, covers him up, and then she comes back in and goes, "What are you doing here?" And then he's just like, "Bye." And leaves, goes in the car. It is creepy that he pours gasoline all over himself with an expressionless face, obviously because he's an android. Then just sets himself on fire. But what baffles me...
He immolated himself.
Immolation. It's a good band. But what baffles me is that people are just like, huh. Like, nobody's going to get the fuck away from there and be like, what the hell is that? If you saw a guy set himself on fire with gasoline in a car and then it just straight up explodes in a hospital parking lot, wouldn't you be a little more baffled than just like,
huh?
Like if some guy sneezed up macaroni or something? I don't know. I just thought of something that was slightly weird but also mundane. But I don't know. And then they're trying to find the remnants of a body in the car and they can't. And the lady thinks it's car parts. And it's not. And as soon as she finds out, with a drill, even though you don't see it, you said one of those shitty cordless 80s drills.
Yeah.
It did look shitty.
Mm-hmm. Had the little tiny battery on it.
Okay, so the girl's dad is dead. And she comes in to see the guy that was like, they're going to kill us all. His daughter comes in and she's like, yeah, that's my dad. Automatically just wants to bang Tom Atkins.
It's because he's Tom Atkins.
But what creeps me out is that he was 47 and she was 23.
Yeah. Or 48. Or
you know what the first scene was they shot together?
The kissing scene?
The banging scene.
Oh, okay.
They didn't know each other, and they had cast her last minute because they were under time constraints, and they were like, yeah, good to go. I'd be like, nope, mm-mm. Boob out and everything.
Yeah.
That's PG-13 boob right there. You get half boob. Not whole boobs, half boob.
It's rated R.
Well, you got the PG-13 boobs. Sorry. But why the fuck did she get out of the shower and she's like, woo, woo, and then she puts the entire blanket over her? It's like, what are you doing? Why is it? I just thought that was weird.
She should have closed the door and dried off like a normal person. And then she walked down the street to get some lingerie from the convenience store or wherever she went.
Okay, your dad just died. Horrifically. Like some dude who killed himself in the parking lot after killing your dad. And I'm not trying to rag on the movie. I just thought this scenario was odd. Like, you've got to have some stuff going on in your head, and I know that everybody deals with stuff different, but if that were me, I'd be a little catatonic and just want to get answers, especially if you're in a creepy town that has a curfew, and everybody in the town, when you come into town, just stares at you.
Yeah.
It's like, this is fine. And then the lady, there's these eccentric people that stay at the hotel with them, obviously, because they have orders, because the hotel that they stay at, or motel, is right next to the Silver Shamrock factory.
Mm-hmm.
And it's Little Buddy.
Yeah, Little Buddy, Big Buddy.
And annoying woman.
And, yeah, then the loud lady that got her head blowed up.
That seemed like they should have been in A Christmas Story.
The woman, or well, they got it on and then the woman blew up, wasn't it?
Yeah, and then he was like, what's that? And she said, who cares? Like, how do you not hear that? It's right. How did she not hear that? Just like trying to sleep. God damn it.
But she takes, like, one of the coins fall off the side of the Silver Shamrock mask, and it's got a little microchip in there, and she just starts jabbing at it with the bobby pin.
Why would you do... At first, because I hadn't seen it in a while, I thought she was trying to lift the chip off of there. No, maybe, but she's just like...
Yeah, she's just poking it.
And then it's a misfire, as they call it.
Yeah, it blowed up her head. That's like the only actual gore
That would have creeped me out when I was little, especially the bugs.
Mm-hmm.
And the cicada noises.
And the snakes.
The explanation they gave for that, because I looked it up, is that apparently the mask, once it gets fed the signal from the Stonehenge, that it sends a signal to the mask to just annihilate your head, and then it rots, and there's like some weird high-speed decay, and then there's bugs. And I guess snakes, because they're like, hell yeah, I can get in on this.
Let me get some of that action.
And that's why there's bugs.
That's the whole existence of bugs. Oh,
yeah, that's why they exist.
Centipedes and spiders and stars.
That is from this record right here of the album soundtrack that my friend Lauren gifted to me.
It's from Mondo.
It's pretty awesome. I mean, it's a really cool presentation of the album and everything. Came with the 3 cards.
Yeah, it's like a little match game. There's another card in there that it's like you're supposed to be able to brainwash people. Or that's what it's like, brainwashing game or something like that.
It seems like it'd be easy with a lot of the idiots around here. You could brainwash a few of them. I'm mean.
So
maybe it's a little unhealthy.
So if you were a 23-year-old, you wouldn't get it on with Tom Atkins?
Absolutely not. That guy has the weirdest brow line I've ever seen. It's just like...
But it's Miller time, even though that's the wrong movie.
Man.
We already talked about that movie.
I guess at least he wasn't creepy, but...
Night of the Creepies.
Night of the Creepies? My Boglin's over here shaking his booty.
Yeah, we got Boglins.
Hey. Oh, that's his eyes. Hey.
Hey, my name is...
Kind of looks like if Butthead fell in some acid. He's over here messing everything up with his big ass hands. People listening are gonna be like, "What the hell is going on?"
I was playing with a Boglin.
Tom Atkins is also known for playing with Boglins.
Yes, he is a Boglin. Someone's got there.
Could you just make the title of this podcast Tom Atkins is a Boglin?
No.
No. Could you at least put in the description?
Yes.
Then just make that the description.
Tom Atkins is a real-life Boglin.
Don't be fooled. It's just very good prosthetics.
Dean Cundley.
So, after they get it on and the lady dies, they go to the factory with little Buddy and his parents, who are supposed to be in a test group because the dad had sold the most silver shamrock masks of the whole year. Mm-hmm. And his gift was death.
Yep.
By tiny snake bites. It was like...
They put him in a room with the little kid with the mask, and they turned on the commercial that blowed up his head.
Is that the cat?
Yeah.
Okay, the cat's trying to break in. We know too much. They sent an android cat out to
meows and
harass us.
Wants food all the time.
Even though I just fed her. She's like, the door's closed. What is this shit?
Let me in. I gotta talk to my people. Yes, but the little boy dies, and the dad gets...
Yeah, but the mom is, like, laughing hysterically, like, this is all a joke. Look at that. It's like...
And she just kind of falls over and, like...
Did she die? Were the bugs like, all right, now this one?
Like, what happened to her wouldn't have killed her.
No, she just fainted because her son's head exploded into bugs.
Yeah. But, I don't know, I guess it killed her. Maybe she had a heart attack.
And the way that Tom Atkins went back to the factory is because they abducted Ellie when he was out seeing what was going on at the motel, and they went in and grabbed her, like 100 androids, and or maybe realistically like 15. But they brought her back, and to my knowledge, they turned her into an android somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But she helped him.
Yeah, she helped him kill. I already forgot what the bad guy.
Cauldron.
Yeah, Cauldron. Yeah.
But he would have had to have programmed her, and then when, he dumped all of the silver shamrock emblems that are on the mask that had the chips in them, they all misfired. Mm-hmm. I meant to do air quotations, but my hand really hurts.
Misfired.
So they kill all of the androids that are working on the floor with, like, some office furniture and TVs. Mm-hmm. I thought that was a little lackluster. I thought it was funny what you said. You're like, they had better equipment in the Strange Brew thing.
Oh, yeah. Their headquarters, like their little circle of all their equipment.
Yeah, and then they have, like, Stonehenge there. And
how did he steal one block of Stonehenge?
He just said, we had a hell of a time getting it there. That's all you get. So he's saying that, and everybody in this town is Irish, by the way, and he's saying that the Celtic way is to sacrifice to Samhain, on Samhain, and a sacrifice would be all the children. And he's using Celtic magic from
3,000 years ago.
Yes.
And he's supposed to be 3,000 years old.
He kind of looks it. I'll tell you what, those eyebrows, if I had to guess, 3,000 years would be it. That dude.
Dan O'Herlihy.
Herlihy.
It's a Herlihy boy.
But he got...
Let the boy sleep in your bed.
He's his dad. All right. Anything else to add?
We won't ruin the very ending, even though we pretty much did.
It's kind of a... You don't exactly know what happens.
Yeah, it's like a, no! And then it fades to black. And then Metallica starts playing. No.
They didn't exist.
Yeah, they did.
Wait, what year was this?
1982.
Oh, well, they didn't... What year did Kill 'Em All come out?
1983. They formed in 1981.
Well, I guess whenever the band started. Sarcastic ass James Hetfield when he was cool.
All kinds of things.
I always love when people ask me, like, oh, what kind of music do you listen to? I'm like, oh, all kinds of stuff. Then it's one time somebody they were like, so when did the band start? It was like somebody that didn't really care, and I was like, oh, whenever we started, I guess. And then you actually answered him. I was like, damn it.
2016.
Damn, that's a long time.
We should have had like 4 albums out by now.
This is just us being like, I wish we did more with our lives.
Happy Halloween, Halloween.
I wish my head had just
Halloween.
turned to bugs. Then I wouldn't have to go to work. But this is very much enjoy this movie. And now, ever since we saw that video of Ryan Waste and all them, and the one guy was like, my favorite movie's Halloween 3. And I thought that was funny how he like lunged forward and said 3. Yeah. This is also a gift from our friend Lauren.
And Joe.
Yeah. Oh, I'd say that's also from Lauren and Joe. I was going to go...
This is from Trick or Treat Studios.
Now it's on the floor.
It's rubber. It'll be all right.
Our next podcast, we will probably be talking about what we're going to be doing this weekend.
Which is?
Going to see, I know this is King Diamond, but we're going to see Merciful Fate with our boy Scott.
And a bunch of other boys and girls.
Huh? No, it's just us three, the whole theater. That's what I'm to understand.
I think Cody and Lauren will be there. Like, different Lauren, not Lauren that bought that stuff.
Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. Yeah, and I also think Adrian and Gracie are going to be there.
Yeah.
Our buddies.
Yeah.
But I meant that we were going with Scott. Like, we're going to ride up there.
In Cincinnati.
We haven't been to Cincinnati in years.
Yeah, it's probably...
Possessor?
Yeah, 2014.
Holy shit. All right. Well, we'll have more stuff to talk about. If you like Merciful Fate, I'm sure we'll have another movie to talk about as well, which I'm hoping will be a certain movie.
We will ask King Diamond what his favorite movie is that he wants us to cover on the podcast. Your phone's ringing.
Stupid. All right. Thanks for ruining it, phone, or whoever called me.
It was our number one fan. Telemarketer.
All right. Well, we hope that you had a good Halloween. And watch some good movies. Listen to Acid Witch. Do whatever you want to do.
Rot Among Us.
Watch...
Halloween 3.
Watch Halloween 3. Watch The Dark Half if you don't have it on tape, because this is the last day that it will be on HBO Max.
Supposedly.
I don't know why they take stuff away. But you know what? I don't think it's that expensive anyway, because it's not like the in thing to like The Dark Half. So check that out. It might be on DVD or tape.
Watch the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because I'm looking at the poster.
Absolutely. I wish we could stay home and watch that, but
we got to go to work.
Yeah, because stupid
work
people. All right. Well, thanks again.
Bye.
Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween. Halloween.
Buy
Halloween.
our merch. Happy Halloween. Buy Blood Curse t-shirts.
He's saying that because it's a joke. We're not really trying to push our stuff on our podcast.
No, I was going to hold up the mask, but I remembered I threw it over there.
All right, now. Goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.
Bye.